We've just now paid our homage to the leader of our movement, a leader of our country, but more importantly, a father to his family, but a father to many people in the Republic of South Africa. When we received the news of his passing, most of us are still reeling with shock. We never believed that this time will arrive at a time when all of us had hoped that Deputy President Mabuza was feeling much better. And it was all of a sudden. But we've come to terms now that he has played his part. We must allow him to rest. There are many memories that we're going to cherish. At an individual level, a number of us, when the ANC was unbanned, he was one of those instrumental leaders with Comrade Matthew Sposa. He took us to various institutions of higher learning because Comrade Mabuza valued the issue of education. There are many people within the boundaries of this province and outside the province that are occupying many positions of influence, whether in government, whether in other sectors, on the basis of the belief in the education system. Even during his deployment by the ANC, either as an MEC for education and later as a premier, he emphasized the question of education in many rural communities, state-of-the-art infrastructure, including communities in areas like in the farms, where young girls and children that were not having conditions that were very conducive for them to be able to go to school so that they too under the sun can have an opportunity to uplift themselves. That infrastructure is there, is a testimony of his work around the question of education. But more importantly, on a personal level, he was also in a position to ensure that there is a Mabuza Foundation. That Mabuza Foundation continues to help many students across the length and breadth of our land. That was his contribution. But also at the very same time, Comrade Mabuza had the biggest contribution and appreciation as a member of the ANC. That when you join the revolution is about people. You can speak many big terminologies, but if you don't have the heart of loving people, he has demonstrated love to many communities. A number of you have covered him. When he used to work for the ANC, go door to door, he will take his last penny and ensure that when he goes to people's households, he will not be looking for votes. In the main, he will check how are they doing. If they have challenges, he will attend to those challenges. A number of them were given their dignity back around the programs they run, around the issues of giving them houses. That's how we can be able to remember him. There are many sectors in our province that have lost him. The traditional leaders here, he was very close to them. Many of them that in this province, that their right and dignity were stripped away, it was restored by him, including my own family is a beneficiary for that, in terms of my own royal family. He was one of those that actually, even today, this country, when it comes to the institution of traditional leadership, you look at the tools of trade, this province continues to be one of the leading provinces in our country, that this institution who defines who we are and where we come from and where we are going to be. Even on his last days in our own engagement, he was worried about our organization, that our organization was founded on the basis of unity. We must never at any point, even if we have different views, must never understand the principality of the ANC. That foundation is the basis on which our movement was formed. We agreed that we'll do whatever it takes despite our challenges. When we renew the organization, we must strengthen the branches, but the organization must remain the instrument at the hands of the people. In other words, issues around the economy, the cost of living, issues of lawlessness, issues of local government that is faced with a number of challenges that it must be able to respond. That's how we actually going to continue to honor him. And we are very pleased that the leadership of the ANC in Rutuli House, led by the SG, and the leadership of the province, all the arrangements are being made in a very organized way, that as a broader society, and those that are actually from the Congress movement, and those who are in other political parties, there is a smooth way of paying our homage. And we are looking forward on the Saturday that his mortal remains will be laid to rest. He has written his chapter, the chapter of South Africa and the politics of South Africa and the continent, because he played an important role as a deputy president in the continent, whether it's South Sudan, the Kingdom of Lesotho. You can name many other countries where he played an important role. Therefore, we should be in a position to say we'll have to pick up the spear right now. We should be able to continue to wage the struggle and ensure that the ANC remains the hopes and dreams and aspirations for those who are voiceless.